So my name is Darl Champion. I have a plaintiff's personal injury firm in Atlanta called the Champion Firm. And we work on everything from premises liability and trucking cases to cases involving medical malpractice. Our client was leaving a restaurant. It was early morning hours in November. Her light turned green. She went to turn left. Pickup truck was traveling at a high rate of speed and blew through the red light and basically T-boned her. It was driving a company vehicle, and as a result of the impact, our client had devastating injuries. It's really a miracle that she survived. There really wasn't a lot of information on who this guy was who was driving the truck, who may insure it, because I did get involved pretty quickly. Didn't have a police report yet. And what really led us to find out that there was a company involved was somebody from the company went up to the hospital just to talk to my client and just express their condolences for everything that was going on. One of our strategies was, okay, we want to get a day in the life video or a settlement brochure video. People call them different things, but just something like telling the story of what happened and showing how these injuries have affected our client. And so what we did was we got an animation that starts shortly before impact, shows the vehicles approaching the intersection, shows the collision. Then it goes to our client and it shows her basically, from head to toe, all of her injuries. One of the things that we have in Georgia is we have bad faith. So if an insurance company gets the opportunity to settle for policy limits and they don't, and then we go to trial and get a verdict above the policy limit, the company and the driver that were insured have a claim against their insurance company for not settling. What we want to do as the lawyers for our client is give the insurance company as much information as possible to evaluate the case. And that includes showing them this powerful video of the settlement brochure video with the animations, so that if the insurance company doesn't pay it and 2, 3, 4 years down the road, there's a trial about whether the insurance company should have settled the case, we can go back and look at this and say, hey, we gave you all this information. We gave you all our client's medical records. We showed you her medical bills were over $1 million. We sent you this 45-minute video, and you saw all of her injuries, and you still didn't pay it. Anybody who would look at that video would pay the demand. And that's really what our strategy is, to show the insurance company all the information they need to evaluate the case. But especially when you're talking about, human anatomy and medical terminology, people can get really kind of confused or lost, or they might have a misunderstanding about what it is. But if you actually show it to them, it helps reduce the risk of any confusion. And I think it's very powerful when you see it in that context too, instead of having, just a doctor or a family member talking about this was broken or this was fractured. It's always good to deal with any vendor in any space that kind of knows what they're doing, that has ideas as well, because that's something that y'all have so much experience with, all sorts of different cases and all sorts of different venues with different law firms. It was nice to kind of have that collaboration and get that feedback. And so anytime you hire an expert or any vendor, it's adding a cost to your case. But for the way I always look at it is the cost worth it? Is it not only going to pay for itself, but is it going to lead to our client getting more money? And without a doubt, having medical animations on this case was going to add value to the case. So that's why we decided to get that done. To actually see it, and the work that y'all did too was so good. It looks so real. I think is very, very powerful.